There is going to be a lot of things that happen in the 2023 NFL Draft. There's going to be teams moving up. It's the quarterback tax like we see every single year except, well, last year with Kenny Pickett being the only quarterback selected in the first round, even though I don't know that all of us saw that. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of good quarterbacks in this class. There's going to be a lot of things, different things going on in the top of the first round there. But overall, for the Minnesota Vikings, there's a couple things that you hope will go right and hope that won't go wrong. And at the end of the day, there is dream draft scenarios for the Minnesota Vikings and also worst case scenarios that we're here to cover. So we need to start by talking about what the Vikings have. So yes, we've got currently 4 picks. I know this is going to be a lot more as things kind of move forward with compensatory picks later on in the year here. But yes, the Vikings own the first round pick, the 23rd overall selection. Excuse me. They also have the 87th overall selection in the third round, the 116th overall pick in the fourth round, and then they have a 5th round pick, number 155 overall as well. So 4 picks right now. But Adofo-Mensah, if we learned anything from last year's draft, he's not afraid to trade down and get some draft capital. So what is the dream draft scenario for the Minnesota Vikings? So I would say after a free agency period that's, mostly stagnant, I don't think they're going to go out and get any huge names. I think the dream draft scenario is getting a top corner in this class, which I don't think will be hard because I do think that there's a lot of really good corners in this draft class that, even if you could get in the second and third rounds that probably have first round talent. But at the end of the day, whether it's, Cam Smith coming up there out of South Carolina, represent, go Gamecocks. Also, there's a lot of really good defensive pieces in this draft. So the best case scenario for me is getting guys like Devin Witherspoon, also guys like maybe even Peter Skoronski. That would be a best case scenario. Cam Smith also up there, as well as Christian Gonzalez, Joey Porter Jr. There's so many top corners in this draft class that you could trade down. Also, Keely Ringo coming up out of Georgia. Like, there is seriously so much talent here at the corner position for the Vikings to be able to take their pick. I think it's a huge need. Or I still think that, I know the Jackson Smith and Njoku, or whatever his name is, Njigba, excuse me, he is not considered a first round pick anymore by some people, which baffles me. Do we just going to forget what he did last year? Not this last season, but the year before that with Ohio State, like over 1,600 receiving yards. Like, he's just an absolute playmaker for the Buckeyes. He was. This last year, he dealt with some hamstring issues. It is what it is there. But the best case scenario would be, for teams to just hate on Jackson Smith and Njigba, and somehow they get him in the third round. That would be really rosy. I doubt that would happen. In fact, I think he's probably going to go early day 2. That would definitely be the best case scenario. But if you can get your top corner and your top wide receiver early in the draft and somehow find a way to still come away with more draft capital, I think that's the best case scenario for the Vikings. Now, worst case scenario, I think that the Vikings are they're gonna have their shot at their corner that they want in this draft. Do they want to trade up? I doubt it with only 4 picks in this draft, but I think that there's some things that they could do to kind of sweeten the deal. At the end of the day for. Oh, geez, I'm going to yawn, but some of these teams. But also, worst case scenario, they miss out on their pick for, wide receivers. There's a lot of good wide receivers early on in this draft, and really going into the third round, guys like Josh Downs and all that. Also, Jalen Hyde out of Tennessee is a guy you want to keep an eye on. But, worst case is, they don't get, don't get an interior offensive line help, which was something they seriously need. Like, they've got seriously 3 needs here. It's going to be difficult for them to fill them all, but they need to find a way to get their wide receiver help, their corner help, and then also their interior offensive lineman help. So worst case scenario is, again, they don't get their pick of the wide receivers, the wide receiver, the corner, or the interior offensive line help. I think that the Vikings need to make some moves here. They can't just stay at 23. They need to be able to, if they like a guy, they need to be able to go up and move up for him. If it's a wide receiver corner, you can kind of stay put. But overall, the Vikings, they've got some things they've got to consider if they want to fill all 3 of those needs early in the draft and potentially have three day 1 starters. But let us know what you guys think, and make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. So give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about the dream draft scenarios for the Minnesota Vikings in the 2023 NFL Draft.